Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Reading Club. Currently we are reading the Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami and we are at text 6. Okay, so let's start our session by offering the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So in Nectar of Instruction, like in a preface, we see that like our advancement in a spiritual activity, it like spirituality, it depends on one's attitude. Okay, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving so many and like very wonderful instruction, but are we following them in our life? So like if you are not following, then you are not going to advance. But if you think, okay, from this day, like let me follow the instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami and Prabhupada, then you will be advanced surely. So in the first verse, like the first verse, what we see that like we have to control the six urges. Okay. Yes. Let me share the screen. Yes. Harishna, who want to recite the first shloka?
May I start?
Yes, Mataji.
माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद।
ये हिंदी में है क्या?
पांचो वेदम मनस क्रोध वेगम जिह्वा वेगम उदरोपस्थ वेगम एतान वेगम विषहेत धीरः सर्वमपि मां पृथ्वीं शासिष्यत्।
Hare Bol Mataji. So in first verse, Srila Rupa Goswami giving us advice that you have to tolerate the six urges. Like what are these six urges? First is the urge to speak. Okay, when we like speak only about a Krishna, then like our urge of speak can be controlled. So when we open our mouth, we should glorify Krishna. Okay, and second is the demands of mind. How we can control the demands of mind? So like like always we have to think in this way that like how I can please Krishna, and in these circumstances how can I serve Krishna in more better way. Okay, there should be anxiety, I have to serve Krishna. Okay, and like 10 actions of anger, we can engage our anger in Krishna's service as the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Like when Jagai Madai offended the Nityananda Prabhu, and Hanuman also did. Like when when Ravana offended the Sita Mata and like Ram Prabhu. Okay, then like how we can control the urges of a tongue, belly, and genitals. Like Srila Prabhupada write in a purport that the tongue, belly, and genitals, they are in a straight line. Okay, when we simply take the prasadam, then our tongue is a control, and when tongue is a control, then like a belly and genitals automatically get control. And one who tolerates these six kinds of urges, then like he is qualified to make the disciples all over the world. Okay, then text 2, like yes, Muttamanikam Prabhu, you want to recite?
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। अद्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्भो नियमाग्रह जनसंगश्च लौल्यं च सद्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. Hare.
Very good. So anyone remember like this nectar of instruction is book for whom? Like for the Kanishta Adhikari, for the Madhyama Adhikari, or for the Uttama Adhikari, or for neophyte,
Kanishta
or
Adhikari,
pure
Mata.
dues? Yes, the nectar of
Kani-
instruction is for the Kanishta Adhikari
Kanishta
and the
Adhikari.
neophytes, okay? One who is not strongly fixed in a like a Madhyama Adhikari or Uttama Adhikari platform. Because like when you follow, like as Prabhupada said, as a Srila Rupa Goswami said, when you follow this instruction, then like you will be advanced. So you will be advanced from the Kanishta to Madhyama and from the Madhyama to the Uttama, okay? So in the second verse, that like he's saying that like if you do these six kind of things, then your devotional service will be spoiled. So what are these six things? First is atyahara, eating more than necessary. Even it is a prasadam, except you are in a Jagannath Puri, like you don't have to over it. Okay. Then like you are also atyahara also includes the collecting more funds than required. Like like you are working like a 2 or 3 shifts, but you don't find the time for your spirituality. Then there is no use of this. Okay. And like even like in Shastra says that like even if you earn more than your capacity, then Krishna will take like a laws of nature will take it away in a form of a court cases, or some will steal your money, or you have to pay that money in hospital bills, etc. Okay. And like atyara also includes that like you are reading the Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures to become a scholar, and like to doing the mental speculation. Okay. Even like the people who are simply engaged in a sense gratification, they come under the atyahara. Even like those who want to merge with the Brahmin, they also comes in the atyahara. And they the scriptures, the books which does not contain the glorification of a Krishna and like his qualities, name, fame, it also comes under the atyahara. And like whatever reels, like whatever videos or YouTube videos you are watching, like it also come under the atyahara when there is no Krishna. Okay. Then like if you want a more and more things, you have to do atyahara, then you have to do over endeavor, you have to do the prayasa for the mundane things which are very difficult to obtain. And third is when we mix with the material people, like you will talk unnecessary about the mundane subject matter. This is the prajalpa. And fourth is like you want to do the more and more collection, and like you have to do more and more uh, sense gratification, then you require the help from the Krishna and like help from the demigod. So like whatever obstacles come in between your sense gratification, that should be removed. So you go in a temple and like we say, like we order Krishna, please remove this obstacle so that we can do the sense gratification and we can go away from you. Because like when you do the sense gratification, we are going to go far away from Krishna. Okay. That shloka is there na, like atmendriya priti vancha tare bale naam kam, krishnendriya priti vancha tare bale prem. So like if we try to satisfy our senses, that is lust. Okay. Even in any kind of relation, when like one is only try to gratify his senses, he only sees his pleasure, it is just a lust. But like when one thinks that like he have to gratify the senses of a Krishna, then that is a love. So like these people like they order the Krishna, and like so whatever rules and scriptures whatever their rules and regulation they are following so that like not for the spiritual advancement, they want a material advancement. And like, they whimsically follow the rules and regulation. And sometimes we also do the same things now, like there is a fixed time that at that time you have to do. Prabhupada said that like you have to chant 16 rounds, but one day you chant 8 rounds and you say I can chant the next day. Prabhupada said early morning you should chant the rounds, and early morning you should attend Mangalarti. And why Mangalarti? Because when you attend the Mangalarti, your entire day become a Mangala. It become a Shubha. Okay, entire day become auspicious. And like at that time Radha Krishna is very happy, and they will bestow a lot of mercy on you. And second, why we have to chant the 16 rounds early morning before step up like outside our home? Because like the 16 rounds like act like a vaccine. And like this 16 round like protect you as a shield. Like this 16 rounds will protect you from the Maya. And like early morning when you read at least one page of like a Prabhupada's book, then like it will protect you entire day. So like everything has an important. But like okay, like after coming from the office or like before sleeping, I will complete my 16 rounds. So like yes, there will be some benefit, but like this is not a proper use. Like every like entire day you will be staying in Maya, and then again you are coming back. So like you should be prepared for the war against the Maya. So like early morning you have to sharpen your weapons, and like you have to protect yourself from the shield. So fifth is associating with the worldly minded person. In the same purport, Prabhupada is saying like quoting one verse from the like a Bhagavad Gita, and it says that like like when we associate with like with the association, desire and ambitions come. So like when we are associating with the worldly minded people, then we also have the same desires as they. Like we will have the material desires. I want a big house, big car, and like I want this and that. So like we will forget Krishna. So and like when we also associate na, like we also become a greedy. So jana sangasya laulyam cha, by association with the material people, this laulyam come. Okay, the greed comes. Hare Krishna, who want to recite the third verse? Sarita Mataji, Sharmila Mataji, Snigdha Mataji, Sudha
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. उत्साहात् निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीद्यति. Hare Krishna.
Very well, Mataji. So yes, in a third verse, like Srila Rupa Goswami saying that, like if you do this six things, then like I am giving you 100% guarantee that you will be advanced in a pure devotional service. Okay, and like you will get the complete success in pure devotional service, and like a pure devotional service, this is our goal of our life. Okay, and like this is our dormant nature to please Krishna and like render devotional service. Not only devotional service, the loving devotional service to the Krishna, and that too pure. Okay, so first is a being enthusiastic, and enthusiastic means like you have to act. Okay, and like we should have the confidence. Okay, I'm strictly following the rules and regulation. I'm chanting my rounds, and like I'm under the shelter of a Srila Prabhupada. Shelter means like you are following instruction of that acharya. Okay, so like okay, so like we should have that confidence. Okay, I'm following instruction, then like avashya rakshibe Krishna. And like that word, the kalina from the Raj Yoga, like the with the time, if I'm following the instruction, then with the time I will be perfect. And like avashya rakshibe Krishna, so whatever requirement for my spiritual activities, it like Krishna will provide me and Krishna will guide me. And like even there is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita that states that like if you have the strong desire, then Krishna give you intelligence to execute the devotional service. So Krishna will protect you. Krishna promises everything in a Bhagavad Gita, but like we don't, like we have to only promise one thing, that like I will follow your instruction, but we fail to do that. Okay, so like when we are failed to do the promises, then like by simply reading the Bhagavad Gita is not that of use, no? And like third is a being patient. So like yes, kalina, like with the time you will become perfect because you are following the instructions. Okay, you are under the shelter. Like even Prabhupada one time he said that like okay, like it is very difficult for you guys to come back to the Godhead. So simply like simply like catch my dhoti, like somehow I will take to you like back to the Goloka from the back door. So yes, like we should be confident. Okay, like because I am under the shelter of my bona fide spiritual master, or I'm under the shelter of a Srila Prabhupada, so that like I can go back to the Godhead and I can be purified with the time. Then fourth is acting according to the regulative principles. So we have to follow the 9 processes of the devotional service. And 5 is like we have to give up the association of a non-devotees. And this is repeating again and again that association matters, even in a prajalpa, like even in association everywhere, like they are focusing this, like you have to only accept the prasadam and you have to give up the association of a non-devotees. And 6 is following the footsteps of a previous acharyas, that is tat karma pravartanat. And like following the footsteps means we don't have to imitate them. Like you cannot sleep for the 2 to 3 hours as a Prabhupada used to do. We have to follow their instructions. Okay. So text fourth. Hare Krishna, who want to recite? Sudha Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयति चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. Hare Krishna.
Very well, Mataji. So yes, like then we come to know this association is very important, and we should associate with the like devotees, and we should give up the association of non-devotees. So okay, in devotees, like how then we have to interact with them? Like should we fight with them, or should be envious of them? When here Prabhupada is saying, like Srila Rupa Goswami and Prabhupada is saying that like we can offer the gifts in a charity, we can accept the charitable gifts. So like and this gift should not be material, okay? We have to give the spiritual gifts. You can give the Prabhupada's books or some scriptures, and like you can also give some flowers or some sweets to the devotees, like so that they can offer to their deities or in their altar. Then like we have to reveal one's mind in a confidence, like sometimes we have the very lusty desires, sometimes we goes very down. So like it is very important to have the some spiritual friends, and so we have to tell them, Mataji, I have this kind of feelings. Then they will guide you, and like the association protect you. Even there is a one shloka from the scriptures that says that like in Kali Yuga the association protects. So like yes, association is a strength. Then yes, we have to reveal our mind in a confidence, and like we have to inquire. So when we are meeting the devotees, then we should inquire. We shouldn't inquire, oh Mataji, from where you bring this sari, or oh Mataji, like how your hairs are so nice, or like you don't have to inquire like oh Mataji, how to get the promotion, like or like how can I like get like materially more wealthy. You don't have to like inquire this kind of things, or like you don't have to inquire about the like news, politics, or like some films. You have to inquire confidently about the Krishna. Oh Mataji, how can I increase my round? Oh Mataji, how can I attentively chant my round? How can I read the Srila Prabhupada books? And even after reading, how can I remember the points from that book, and how can I apply that points practically? So you have to like inquire these things, okay? Then we have to accept the prasadam. Whatever devotees offer the prasadam, we have to accept the prasadam. And then we have to also offer the prasadam to the devotee, okay? In this way, like we can share the love from the one devotee to another devotee, okay? And like in this purport, like there is one more important thing that uh, one shloka quoted by Prabhupada from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which states that like you don't have to accept the food from the non-devotees. When you accept the food from the non-devotees, then like your mind will become very restless and fickle, okay? So in a test 5, like we see like okay, we have to interact with the devotees in this way. So like then we like there are different types of devotees. First is a Kanishta Adhikari, who is a neophyte and who only pay respects and to the deities in a temple. They don't know how to behave with devotees, okay? And second is a Madhyama. Madhyama means like he has gone through this like a spiritual initiation, maybe the like a Harinam initiation or a Brahmin initiation, and like he knows the difference between like Krishna, like devotees. Also the devotees, he know how to respect the devotees. So like with the devotees, Madhyamadikari make the friendship. And like for the neophytes, he's a very compassionate. And like some people will be atheist mayavadis and like very envious of the devotees, then he like he ignores them, okay? So then like we comes to the Uttamadhikari. So Uttamadhikari are the pure devotees. They constantly meditate upon the Lord, and they always like in that mood that like how can they please Krishna, and how they always think like to spreading the explore the Krishna conscious movement, okay? So we like with in this fifth shloka, we see is that like how we have to interact with this pure how like what is the difference between the Kanishta, Madhyama, Adhikari? What are their characteristic, and like how we have to interact with them? And in sixth shloka, we will see that like in sixth shloka, we will see that we are seeing firstly yesterday we see the hatti mata, like we don't have to or we don't have to see the pure devotees or uttamadhikari through the material point of a view. We don't have to see their bodily features, even there will be some defects, bodily defects, but they all are a on the transcendental platform. Okay, we shouldn't find their defects, and they are as pure as the Ganges. And even we see from the SP from the Canto 1 Chapter 1 that the pure devotees are when we come in a contact with the pure devotee, immediately you can become pure. But if you go and take a deep in a Ganges, it will require a time to purify yourself. But with the pure devotee, simply by association, you can get the purified. So this so body, so there will be some defects, so these are compared to the in a rainy seasons, a Ganges become a little muddy. There will be some mud in the Ganges, but everyone then but one person who is intelligent, he then also take a bath in a Ganges, because he know that this water is still purified. So then we also see the avyabhicharini bhakti, means unalloyed devotion. And when one person is engaged in a unalloyed devotion, he must be free from the material motives, he should be free from the fruitive activities, and also from the mental speculation and jnana. Okay. And here Prabhupada again saying this one thing, that unless one actually a devotee, he cannot understand the another devotee perfectly. So understand the devotee's mood, you have to become a devotee first. When you are lifting the 100 kg, then only you can appreciate someone who is who is lifting 1000 kg. Okay. So yesterday we ended here that by saying even sometimes a devotee engage in some abnormal activities, we should consider them saintly, because by Krishna's mercy they can again come on the right track. Okay. So yes, we can start to the even through the pure devotee. Yes, Sharmila Mataji, you can read the purport. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna. Yeah, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahmana or Goswami family, if he is engaged in the service of the Lord, he should not be neglected. In actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswamis based on material considerations, caste, or heredity. The Goswami title is actually the monopoly of the pure devotees. Thus, we speak of the six Goswamis headed by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had practically become Mohammedans and had therefore changed their names to Dabir Kasa and Sakara Malik. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself made them Goswamis. Therefore, the Goswami title is not hereditary. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses, who is a master of the senses. A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in a Goswami family. According to this formula, the Goswamis, who are descendants of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Prabhu, are certainly devotees. But devotees coming from other families should not be discriminated against. Indeed, whether the devotees come from a family of previous acharyas or from an ordinary family, they should be treated equally. One should not think, oh, here is an American Goswami, and discriminate against him. Nor should one think, here is a Nityananda Vamsha Goswami. There is an undercurrent of protest against our awarding the title Goswami to the American Vaishnavas of the Krishna consciousness movement. Sometimes people flatly tell the American devotees that their sannyasa or title of Goswami is not a bona fide. However, according to the statements of Srila Rupa Goswami, in this verse, an American Goswami and a Goswami in a family of acharyas are non-different. On the other hand, a devotee who has attained the title of Goswami but is not born of a Brahmana father or of a Goswami in the family of Nityananda or Advaita Prabhu should not be artificially puffed up by thinking that he has become a Goswami. He should always remember that as soon as he becomes materially puffed up, he immediately falls down. This Krishna consciousness movement is a transcendental science, and there is no room for jealousy. This movement is meant for the Paramahamsas who are completely free from all jealousy. Paramam Nirmatsarana. One should not be jealous whether he is born in a family of Goswamis or has the title of Goswami awarded to him. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramahamsa. If we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava, we should understand that we are committing an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. An offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this offense as Hati Mata, the mad elephant offense. A mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when it enters into a nicely trimmed garden. One should therefore be very careful not to commit any offense against a Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instructions from a superior Vaishnava, and a superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respects. One is superior or inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. One is forbidden to observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from a material point of view. For the neophyte, especially, considering a pure devotee from a material point of view is very injurious. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from a material point of view, and thus one can gradually become a purified devotee himself. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to a certain section of people, a certain section of devotees, or a certain tract of land are generally prone to see the external features of the devotee. Such neophytes, unable to appreciate the exalted service of the advanced devotees, try to bring the Mahabhagavata to their platform. We experience such difficulty in propagating this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte God brothers who do not appreciate the extraordinary activities of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. They simply try to bring us to their platform and they try to criticize us in every respect. We very much regret their naive activities and poor fund of knowledge. An empowered person who is actually engaged in confidential service of the Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being. For it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. When one thus criticizes a pure devotee, he commits an offense, Vaishnava Aparadha, that is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of an empowered Vaishnava or a Shuddha Vaishnava. It is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. It is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. One can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and an advanced Vaishnava by their activities. The advanced Vaishnava is always situated as a spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not be subjected to the advice of a disciple, nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instructions from those who are not his disciples. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in the 6th verse. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So yes, so like what is Srila Rupa Goswami's definition of being a Goswami? Goswami means one who is who control the senses, one who is not controlled by his senses. Then he considered as a Goswami. But there are still there are 99% people they are such like that. Okay, I have born in a Brahmin family, so that I am a Brahmin. No, according to Bhagavad Gita also by the guna and karma you become like a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So so Goswami also even if you're born in a in a Goswami family, you are from the Nityananda Vamsha, or you are from the Sri Advait Acharya Prabhu, you are a descendant of Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. Then simply by born in that family, you don't become a Goswami. You should have these qualities also, qualities of a Goswamis also. You should able to control your senses. Okay, we also seen in the examples of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami na? Rupa Goswami, they are working in a Mohammedan under the Mohammedans. So their name also changes to the Dabira Khasa and Shakira Malika. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted themselves as a Goswamis because they are full of knowledge and they become the pure devotees and they are able to control their senses. So so you shouldn't differentiate. Okay, this this sannyasi, he's coming from the Nityananda Prabhu. So he's the Goswami of a Nityananda Prabhu, and we should not overlook. Okay, he's from the American Goswami, so he's not that much of important. When we think in this way, then we are offending the pure devotees. And so we shouldn't differentiate from their bodily features, or from their caste, or from their origin. Okay, they are non-different. So further, further, even there we see in that there will be some people, they are very puffed up, like I'm from the Nityananda Vansha, and I'm the descendant of a Nityananda Prabhu, or I'm the descendant of a Advait Prabhu. So we are the more bona fide, and this American Goswamis, they are not that much qualified. When someone become materially puffed up, he immediately falls down, and it also apply for us. Okay, so we don't have to differentiate between the pure devotees, and we also don't have to see their bodily features. Oh, how this they are suffering, their eyes is like this, their hand is like this. We don't have to see their bodily features. And even we don't have to judge these devotees. And even if you start feeling, okay, I am the pure devotees and all are neophytes, then you fall from that platform of a devotee. So we don't have to become a puff up, or we don't have to have any ego. So even in a Bhagavatam na, in a third shloka, it states that canto 1 chapter 1 third shloka, that nirmasta rana satam means this Bhagavatam is for the devotees who are very 100% pure in their heart. So we are not 100% pure, but by the Prabhupada's mercy, we are able to read and listen the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so there's this spirituality, the Krishna conscious movement is a transcendental. Okay, it is about the a tamogun, rajagun, even a satogun. It is a transcendental to the three modes of nature. So there is no room for a jealousy. You shouldn't jealous. Oh, Mata, that Mataji get the appreciation, I didn't get the appreciation. No, you should be very happy. Oh, that I'm not able to perform the service very nicely, but Mataji performed sevas wonderfully. So we should learn to appreciate. And the principles we hear from our senior devotees, when we appreciate the other devotees, that good qualities come inside us. We also having the same qualities. Okay, but when we criticize the other devotees, okay, yeah, that Mataji, she over it lot. So after some years, you will see yourself very fatty, because you have criticized the devotees. So when we criticize other people for their bad qualities, that bad qualities come. So one should when we have to see the defects, then he should see inside him. We have to see inside us the bad qualities. And when we are seeing outside, then we have to we have to praise, and we have to glorify their good qualities. Then that good qualities will also come inside us. So yes, this movement is for the paramhansas. They are paramhansas means they are free from any kind of envy and jealousy. Okay, here Prabhupada is saying that uh, as soon as anyone becomes the envious, he falls down from the platform of Paramhansa. And there are many examples in the Krishna Leela, even when Indra get puffed up, even the Brahma do some mental speculation, think that how this small boy can be can be my Bhagwan Narayana. So when they become envious, when someone become egoistic, they live Krishna leave them, and Krishna will teach them lessons, so that they become free from the envy. And as soon as one become envious, as soon as we become the envious, whatever platform we are on a kanishta level, or we are on a madhyama level, then we will fall down from there. Okay, so yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that offense to the lotus feet of Vaishnava is very serious, and he called him as a Hattimata. Hattimata is a mad elephant. When mad elephant enter in a dream garden, he is going to destroy everything. So when we commit the offense to the pure devotee, pure Vaishnava, then our devotional service get the spoiled, as the elephant spoil all the garden. Okay, so we shouldn't give the instruction to the pure devotees. Okay, we shouldn't give the instruction to the superiors. We should ready to take their instruction. And Prabhupada says that one who is the senior, like we have to take the instruction from them. And and the senior devotees also, they should be ready to give instruction to the neophyte or kanishta adhikari, or the devotees who are not superior than them. Okay. And Prabhupada again saying here, the superior and inferior is not according to, it's according to the spiritual development in a Krishna consciousness. So it is not according to the age, or it's not according to the how many years you stay in the ISKCON. It's depend on we can see the devotees even in 1 year they can come to the 16 rounds, and they are very well versed in a shlokas. But even we can see the 15 years that even if they are staying in the for 15 years, but they are they are not that much, they are sometimes they are chanting their rounds, sometimes they are not chanting their rounds, or they don't even read the Bhagavad Gita. So it depends on the spiritual development of a Krishna consciousness. So even that 1 year devotee become the more superior than this 15-year, a 15-year devotee. Okay. So it's about application. Okay, it's application in our daily life. So with what is the offense? That we observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from the material point of view. Okay, the pure devotees, the Uttama Adhikari, they are on a transcendental platform. And how we can avoid this kind of offenses. So we don't have to see their external feature, their bodily color or their bodily deformities. We have to try to understand their internal, how good they are. They're constantly serving the Krishna, and they're constantly even their body is not allowing, then also they push themselves to serve their Guru Maharaj, and serve the Krishna. So we have to see the internal beauty of the pure devotees. Then gradually we can see we can gradually become a purified devotee himself. So when we start appreciating the pure devotees, when we start seeing their good qualities, then we also become the purified, and we also get the same qualities. Okay. So neophytes, they try to bring the Mahabhagavad to their platform. When we compare ourselves to the Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas, even our bona fide spiritual masters, then then we are committing we are then we are committing the offense. Okay. And we shouldn't criticize them, and we should pay the respect them. There are many people, they criticize the ISKCON, also the our gurus, because of their poor fund of knowledge. And unless one is empowered by the Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. So we can see the how Srila Prabhupada is empowered acharya, and he has the Krishna's mercy. That's why he is within the 10 year of span, he can spread the Krishna conscious movement to the entire world. Okay. So another take out we can take from this. Okay, you are taking the classes, and you are trying to pre-reach, you are trying to book distribution. It's it's not depend on how much knowledge you have. It depends on the purity. Prabhupada say purity is a force. So when you practice your sadhana very strongly, then and when you have the strong desire, okay, I have to please Krishna, I have to serve my guru, then Krishna will empower you. Okay. So we should constantly and very sincerely we have to pray to Krishna, and very strictly we have to follow the instructions of our guru. Okay. Then Krishna will empower you also. And we don't have to compare ourselves with our acharyas, and even to the senior devotees. So when one thus criticizes the pure devotee, he commits an offense, Vaishnava aparad, very obstructive and dangerous to those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. So we have to advance in Krishna consciousness. So we shouldn't commit this kind of offenses. We need to be very careful not to get jealous of the empower Vaishnava. Even we should be very careful. Even they are a Kanishta Adhikari, you don't have to become a jealous or envious of them. When we become the envious or jealous, we will fall down from the whatever platform we are. Okay. And the empower Vaishnava, an object of a disciplinary action, it is often to try to give him advice and correct him. So like we don't have to say, okay, Prabhupada, like if a Prabhupada did in this way, then like a movement will be more useful. Or if you Prabhupada behave in that way, then movement will be very successful. No, you don't have to mentally speculate, or you don't have to give advice, and you don't have need to correct the correct the Prabhupada, our acharyas, even the senior devotees. Okay. So we need to be very careful. So we don't have to give the advice and correct the senior devotees, but but we have to take the instruction from them. And like sometimes we are in a sevas that when there will be some devotees, and there will be some mistakes, so they will commit some mistakes, so like it's our responsibility to correct them. But like some people won't listen to them, so you have to approach their shiksha gurus, and through the shiksha gurus, then like you can correct them. Okay, you don't have to directly tell them. If you directly tell them, then devotee, like when he is not purified yet, or he is not that much mature, then he will sometimes misbehave. Okay, so it's better, if you want to correct someone, you can go to their shiksha gurus. Okay, so today we will conclude here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna. Today we extended 15 minutes because we revised the last verses also. Okay, so from tomorrow we will move toward the 7th verse. So please take out some points, like what you learned from today's session. You can also put the same points in our group also. Those devotees who are not joining, at least they will see at least they can see that take out points. Okay, so happy Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji, thank
Thank you,
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Krishna conscious day.
Hare Krishna. Sadar Pranam.